Hello, one and all. My name is Stephanie. Welcome to our channel, Find Freedom. So I knew it was going to be so hard to say all the time. I would not name my channel that, but it's okay. Next week is going, I have written in our homeschool planner, next week is a week off for school for spring break, or 2 weeks off actually. So I thought this would be a good time to start a video about, a chatty video. It's going to be a chatty video. All my videos are chatty, unless they're like sightseeing videos about how the school year has been going so far and what the next 3 months will be like. I am a self-published author, and I try to do my goals in 90-day goals. And I thought, well, why don't I do the same thing like every couple of months? Do a how is this going so far? I don't know if it'll be exactly every 3 months, but I figure now's a good time to talk about how things have gone so far, what we've changed, what we're liking, and there may be some little snippets of interviews of my children as they give their 2 cents about things, although in the past they have not done good with interviews, so it's fine. So I think first off I'm going to talk about what grade levels my children are. So my youngest is 10. He's doing 5th grade work. Then my next oldest is 12, and she's doing 8th grade work. And then I have a 14-year-old that is doing 10th grade in a public school type setting where she is at right now. No. How do I put that? My oldest is 14, and they're in 10th grade. Are they in 10th grade? No. My oldest child is in 9th grade right now, so that's where we're at. I swear I have a brain working these days. So I thought maybe we'd start this off with talking about my 5th grader and then go from there on up. So my 5th grader is 10. He doesn't do a ton of, he does a lot of subjects and topics and things, but he's not one to say, okay, do this, and I can leave him to his own device and he'll do it. He likes me reading aloud to him things. We do a lot of discussion about things in his book, like in geography book or history. History, there is stuff that he writes down and reads on his own, but after he reads a section, I always talk about it and ask him questions about it and do conversation with him, just to make sure he's grasping all the concepts, making sure he's understanding the words, and things of that nature. I'll probably do like a show and tell of what we're doing. Probably. I think I already did that one. I don't know. So far, I haven't really liked the geography that I've done with any of the kids. We've done 180 days of geography. We've done a couple other geography books. Doing okay. I got a, forget what publishing company it's from, but I think it's Spectrum Geography, and it's more history than geography. So talks about like the Louisiana Purchase and the exploring, and then has like some questions about it. It's like a page and a half reading, and then some questions with lots of writing, and then there's like map reading skills based on whatever part in history. So sometimes I'll have them do all the writing, but a lot of times I'll be like, you know what, I don't really need to, you do a lot of writing on all the other topics. I don't need to have you write everything all the time. So a lot of times we'll just talk about, like, Jackson, what do you think about this? What about that? And what about this? And so I think that's what's working for us. Next year he'll be in doing 6th grade things, so I'm not sure if we'll do a separate geography or not, or if we won't incorporate it in a history thing. Right now we're doing heritage studies, 5th grade for history. We barely just started it. We've only been doing it a couple of weeks. So far, it's going okay. Like 2 to 3 pages of reading, and like a page of activity book, and there was an opportunity to get a book that had tests in it for the heritage studies, but we opted not to do that. Are we still going to do the same thing next year? I don't know. I don't know. He's doing Spectrum Word Study Phonics, and I think we'll probably continue with this next year unless we find something better. And then the same thing with he got a language arts book is really boring. And if you watch my previous video about writing competition, you know that next year we'll be switching to Spectrum for a couple of items. I like to say that we try to do schoolwork 4 days a week, but sometimes we don't. Like if we have, now we're over in Oregon, Washington, and we have appointments we need to do twice a week. So on those days, it's like 4 hours of driving, like hour and a half there, hour and a half back, plus the appointment. So on those days, we don't get as much done. Sometimes we don't get anything done on that day, like any sit-down structured lessons done that day. So on the weeks we have appointments, it's like 2 to 3 days of focused sit-down work, and they read a lot. On the days that we don't have appointments, or the weeks we don't have appointments and we don't move from one campground to another, it's a good 3 to 4 days. They do math every time we do schoolwork, and then they do most of the other topics as well. I think Jackson's hasn't really complained. I mean, he always complains like, do I have to write that? I don't know, do I have to do schoolwork today? Can we just like watch TV or play video games instead? But I think that's just any kid his age. Oh, buddy. Yeah. Is there anything you don't like about school?
Having to do a lot of all of the subjects.
Oh, you don't like to do every subject every day?
No.
Okay. All right. That's fair. I think overall, the first few months of this year are doing good. We decided to do school year from January through like Thanksgiving, right Thanksgiving, beginning of December. Just works out for us. And yeah. So I'd say 5th grade homeschooling stuff, we're moving forward slowly but surely, one step at a time, and I don't really have any complaints about the things that we're doing so far. We're not changing anything right now. I do have to say that I really appreciate how finally he likes to read. Like, we kept him like, you should read this, you should read that. And he's like, I don't want to, it's too big, there's not enough pictures. So finally I was like, you know what, I'm going to assign you reading. This is like in January. Like, okay, it's going to take him all year to read these 5 books. I'm like, you should start reading the Percy Jackson series. Had the first 5 books. I've had them as a box set for like a couple of years. Okay, so he reads a chapter. Next thing you know, days later, he's like on book 3. Like he powered through all 5 books in like 2 weeks. It was great. So now I got him. We were at a bookstore in Centralia, Washington, and I found a book that I thought he'd like. And what's cool about it, it's a middle grade book, and it is one of 12, and it is this one, Ranger's Apprentice, The Ruins of Gorlin by John Flanagan. And like I said, there's 12 books so far. So I think it was like $7 or something. So that is something I can definitely keep on providing him with, is the books for him to read. All right, I'm going to take a little bit of break, and I'll be back, and I'll chat about my now 8th grader who's 12. Hello, I'm back for the next part of the video. As you can see, I've changed locations, and it's the next day. Hopefully this next part will be a little bit more coherent than my ramblings yesterday. I don't know how I'm going to edit that, so it's not so rambling and all over the place, but we'll see. You might get it rambling, I don't know. Right now we're getting some propane for the RV, so I thought it'd be a good time to talk about my now 8th grader, 12-year-old, and how they're doing in school. How school's going so far this year for them. I think everything's going pretty well. She's cruising right along with her math. She's just started percentage chapter. She's almost done with her geography or her history. She's working through her writing and her language arts, which I don't think I'm gonna have like a separate language arts next year, just because she's got a real good grasp on it. and she's working on she started typing up her writing selections instead of handwriting them all the time, and we're working on typing skills, so things are going well. I don't really have any complaints. She's a pretty independent student. Just give her a checklist of what she needs to do that day. I'll go over some things like, okay, this is what I'm looking for in this written response for history, or hey, this, I don't need you to do this activity because it's like for a classroom activity, or we'll go over the math. That's it. Hers is pretty simple, straightforward. All right, scene change for the third time in the same video. So overall, I think school is off to a good start this year. The kids are reading, the kids are learning, they're doing their work. There are some like complaints here and there, but for the most part, say it's a pretty easy time so far. We'll see how we do when we come back from our spring break. It's always hard to get them back on track after being off school for a week or two. I do have another child that will be joining us homeschooling in the next month or two-ish time period. And when that happens, I will be sharing what we're doing for that child as well. Okay, I think that's it for this video. Thanks for watching this. Let me know down in the comments how you are doing so far this school year. We are doing January through November, so we kind of like school year round, so we're just started our school year. I know a lot of other people do school year like June through May or whatever, which we used to. But let me know in the comments how your school year is going. If you have any questions about my homeschooling related things. All right, I think that's it for now. Thanks again, and as always, have a wonderful day. Bye.